gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quest for all participants and the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Welcome back, guys. We are going into map number 2 relatively shortly. It is going to be cobblestone, as you can see on your screen at the moment. Once again, joining me is going to be Just Harry GG, although he may be dropping the GG according to some television stations, news outlets around the world.
Oi. Yeah. No, the GG stays on Twitter, but it's just Harry. Okay.
Wait. It's just Harry, or it's just Harry?
God. You're the most annoying human being, but at the same time, the most beautiful and the most huggable. For those of you who don't know, actually, I have legitimately laid down in a bed with Tombiz in a travel lodge and just had a little cuddle. And let me tell you, right?
Why?
In the most profound way, this man is the most, well, the second most amazing cuddle partner. But yeah. Anyway, hello. For those who are just joining us, this is game. Sorry, that took a very weird turn. For those of you who are just joining us, this is game number 2 in tonight's first best of 3. We already saw iGame picking up the first map. That was their map choice. That was, of course, on train. Now we've got Tengri's map pick coming up, and that's going to be cobblestone. And we can see Tengri. They're starting over on the CT side, or is this the knife round now? I think I don't know, Tom. Yeah, this is the knife round now. So I wasn't paying much attention, apparently. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to go ahead and say anything in chat for us to take a look at, we decided that in the beginning, I guess, we'll have a little look-see, see what's going on. Just a quick shout out to everyone that's kind of typing right now. There's names I can read out that aren't, you know, a little bit inappropriate. We got Caldog OG. Fanix. Oh, can't read out the next one. It's Instinct the Great, Knightis, and Taboto or TBOTO, or maybe TBOTO. I don't know how you want to say it, but there we go. Quick shout out to you guys for being active in the chat. Much love to you all. Be sure to stick around as we've got plenty more games coming up today. This is just the first best of 3. There's another one coming up very, very soon. But now moving into this one, Tom, we've already seen a very convincing performance from both teams over on train. Coming into this, who do you think's going to fare better on the cobblestone?
I think I would be a fool to bet against the brethren of the mighty Adrian on a map such as cobblestone. I love watching Gambit, I love watching Flipside, all these sort of CIS teams. I know technically Kazakhstan, like even in the sort of WSG standard of things, they were playing in the Asia qualifier, but I still put them together with those boys, and I don't want to bet against them. I do think that the Finns looked good in the last map, but they definitely weren't, like, by any stretch playing, like, perfect Counter-Strike and making all the right decisions. And with Tengri starting on the T side, well, I'm going to stick with them for this one.
Oh, so you think Tengri are going to pick it up?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, I wasn't putting, like, the finish with the CIS teams.
Yeah, no, I know. Okay, that is extremely interesting. Let's see, as we head into the pistol round now, who we think is going to be how to pick this map up. I'm going to say true to my earlier prediction. I'm going to say that iGame can take this one. You know, I think it's one that could... I think this is very, very 50-50 map. Tengri played very well on train, one that normally they're not that great on. So I would say coming into this, probably their best chance to be picking up one, in all honesty. Let's see, though, as now we head into the pistol. We've got Tom betting on Tengri. Me, I'm going to be leading the way of iGame. But, of course, prediction bias, not going to be a thing. And now going to be heading on into this. We can see that Tengri, they're kickstarting things a little bit slowly, once again, in their typical pistol round fashion. And they actually sent a couple of players over towards A to watch for early aggression early on. It's a nice strategy because you don't normally see someone on the CT side peek out mid, go for that information player, and then they can rotate players over towards B if they don't spot anyone. But there were people over towards A just to watch for any early aggressions. As a result, we do see 2 guys over towards B still for iGame and the lurk player. Look, going to be coming out in the form of Ramsey. Interesting, though. Sort of find himself too, and already this pistol push going to be completely decimated in towards the B site. Bomb's going to be there on the back of Sonic alone, and he's isolated and probably a little bit scared, facing off against Saw. Ramsey on that lurk, coming to rotate around, meet up with the rest of his team. SNK trying to do what he can from drop down, but he's finding it very, very difficult. Ramsey going to fall on the rotate now. Saw's looking for a third. He's going to get it as he peeks out wide, and that's going to be iGame picking up the pistol on the CT side.
He came. He saw, he conquered. There you go. Perfect pun. Yeah, no, very, very easy pistol round by the looks of things for him. 3 kills, 2 of them pushing all at once directly towards him. And it seemed like they tried to play a few mind games at the beginning, Tengri, going for all these sort of rotational positions and just like, okay, we'll go towards A initially, try and make a bit of noise. It didn't work. They just stayed exactly where they were planning to from the beginning of the round, and it was very, very easy in the end. Either way, we are going to see these Tech-9s. Obviously, both teams, I think, actually countering and winning the second round force buy in the previous map. So maybe they can actually pull this one off yet again.
It's going to be interesting to see. Now, once again, they're going to be taking a very slow approach. They send 2 players over towards Long, and Ramzik's going to get spotted by Saw. Actually finds a good bit of damage onto him. And not really a good bit, but a little bit. You know, a little tickle onto Saw's very well endowed HP. But you can see that we already see one of these players now falling on back. That's going to be Changa. He's over towards mid, looking to try and fall back over towards B. They do leave Ramzik once again on the lurk. Interesting to see them using what I would say is their star player in that lurk role. Would be nice to see him perhaps trying to entry, but still he can cause a bit of a ruckus, at least over towards Long. Everyone else stacked up and ready to make their way out towards B. Just a conga line of death.
Yeah, and I like the position from Juho as well. Not going to go for any sort of aggression, just sitting back, tapping away. However, a couple of trade kills will come in, and now he is actually isolated over towards this B side. They've got to get on him quickly, though, as the rotation are going to come in, but it's actually going to be Pachan. Actually gets himself the kill. Lovely shot from SNK as well. And now Sagaton's actually in a position where he has to try and clutch. Tagged down to just 34 HP. Both players on the opposing side are low, but it doesn't matter. SNK with the Deeg, the combo with Pachanga, and that is going to be that force buy working again. 3 pistols and 3 second rounds won by the opposing team.
I don't know how they do it. We haven't seen anyone be able to convert the full, anti-eco round streak. It's very weird, Tom. Very weird. None of them know how to play the anti-eco rounds, it feels like. I mean, I'm no pro. Okay, let's just get that out there now. But as someone who watches and casts a lot of pro Counter-Strike, these guys don't seem very confident on these anti-eco rounds, as they haven't been able to pick them up, neither side. So, maybe it's just luck, but that's how we're seeing things go. Anyway, early on, Fitch up to fire 1 on his 7. He peeks out wide. He's showing, well, you know what? I do know how to take these anti-ecos. Going to find that first one. Zori now peeking out wide on Fountain. Going to be tagged down extremely low. He continues to peek the same angle and he's going to pay the price for it with his life. And now Saw and Sagaton over towards Long find themselves in this 2v5. Wouldn't surprise me if they just saved the pistols and armor and that a little bit of utility they do have.
Yeah, this is a position where there's literally no value of them trying to push back into this. If they can catch someone who tries to take them down towards the end of the round and grab a rifle or something, then sure, but actually pushing back into this site, the range advantage heavily with the T side. There's way more than them as well, and, well, strength in numbers, all that jazz, but really, there's no benefit to them, and maybe they can set up in a way that will actually mean they can win themselves a round in the next, or at least do a hefty amount of damage. So keeping all that they have is definitely going to be valuable. But wow, very nice round coming out from the T's, keeping things nice and clean. I do want to go back to sort of the previous point of these anti-eco rounds, because the fact is they're not even like investing lightly either. It's a lot of the time it's rifles, there's other utility involved, and they're still not managing to counter it. Ramsik will actually take down both players, so that's not bad at all for the T side, only losing 1 player in the trade, but maybe it's just down to their positioning, or the fact that they're going too heavy on the rifles and don't have the utility to slow down these aggressive pushes.
It's definitely an interesting point. It does seem like Tengri actually fared better at picking them up, as we do now see them being able to convert 1 anti-eco. This one should be fairly easy. They do stack the B site, though, on the side of iGame. All 5 players here, a collection of OOSPs and a singular P2K, because Sagaton likes to be different. Now they're going to be taking out these peaks. They haven't dedicated themselves too heartily in towards B. Bomb's going to be dropped back fairly passively. You got 2 players over towards A as well, probing for information. They haven't spotted anyone mid. Wouldn't surprise me if when they do, when they don't, we see them actually opt to call that A rotation. Sora is going to be alone over towards that A site. Playing it over towards balcony. Very, very passive angle. 7 falls over at B in drop down. And now Juho. Oh, he's going to find 1. He shouldn't have got that. Fitch is going to go down. And they have to try and refrag this. They don't want Juho to be able to get that AK. And there we go. Sonic does just that. Ramzik, meanwhile, finds that lone A player. Bomb now can rotate between A or B as it all falls onto Sagaton, the P2K, and a dream. And, well, his dream's going to get shattered. Similar to when he woke up on Christmas morning in 98. To find that there were no presents under the tree. Yeah, that's going to be a 1-3. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I'm very, very involved in Sagaton's life. 1-3 scoreline secured as Tengri. They go ahead and convert the anti-ecos. They were to steal themselves. Now iGame, they could finally buy on down. They don't have anyone to counter Ramzik on that AWP.
Not bad start, of course, and, well, the benefits of obviously winning that second round over winning the pistol, I wouldn't say do it intentionally, but the benefit is you actually get to pick up some of the weaponry they had already and bring it into your round, so you can see there's plenty of cash over on that T side to start. Very aggressive push, however, from Fitch. He tries to find an entry through the smoke, doesn't actually achieve anything along the lines, and in a round like this, I always find that a little bit questionable if you're not playing a sort of bonus round scenario. Now, if you have a UMP, if you have even the Galil, then maybe making a push like that can be justified, but that was a bit silly, especially when the likelihood is, the very high likelihood is, iGame aren't going to have that much utility. You wait, what, 30 seconds? They're probably going to be out of smokes, and you can just push that without any problems at all.
Oh. There you go. Sagaton, here's the scope over at long. He knows that there is a very, very hungry Ramzik poised on the other side of that angle. The Molotov's going to force him back. He actually takes the peek and walks straight into his crosshair. Sagaton, what was that? He's going to go down. That's going to be this A site opened up a little bit. The smokes can come raining on in, and that's going to render Sora useless. Zora, they're going to find one on the flank. Pachang playing up close to person. I'm going to dispatch that one on the 7. Now he's going to be in a very good position to deny these rotates. Zora trying to push in. And Ramzik deals with him. Changa is going to be going huge. He finds himself another. And then it's SNK to take the last. They find themselves their 4th round on the board. And iGame bringing very little thus far into their CT side. I'm going to be forced back onto a force buy once again.
Yeah, struggling to work with that man advantage, it seems. Peak quite aggressive over towards the A-long section of the map, and also just like Sora's position was so based on them not checking. If you get spotted in that position, you are dead unless you have some ridiculous level of aim to actually shoot your way out of that one. So he sort of got isolated, and once they lost that man advantage, everything just fell apart. 4-1 up. Not a bad start for Tengri, but it is a map that can go very heavily onto that T side. A difficult CT side. It's definitely possible to get even more than the sort of 7-8 rounds that we normally come to expect. But most of the time, especially in games like this, we are looking towards that T side, and this is just a masterclass of cleaning up frags, just walking in, headshots galore at the moment for this T side, looking to keep this perfectly clean. Money, well, it's building up wonderfully for Tengri, and now we finally get to see a decent full buy coming in for that CT side.
And then there's 7, the man with enough cash to buy anything. And what does he buy, Tom? What does he buy?
Swag 7, clearly.
Look
into he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's going to be buying up the Mag 7, indeed. Probably going to be taking that towards drop, but more recently, I'd say we've seen it favor platform. They play over by the broken wall. Yeah, exactly. It's been a bit of a change in the meta, but instead, you know, he's going to evoke some memories of times gone and plays it over towards drop down, boosted up. Sagaton, never mind, he's going to get dropped as he becomes one with the elements. Then it's going to be turned back into a 3-on-3 very, very swiftly. Gone with the wind as the push comes on through. So going to find himself that frag on a Ramzik, and already this is poised, Tengri in a very awkward position. They are going to need the man down. One player out towards Plat in the form of Fitch. He's trying to find him an entry, but the smoke's there to block off view towards Pop. Soar's playing things over towards the science. He's rotated around to the flower pot there on the other side of statue. Now they want to go for this, but Zore does have that AWP. He's posted up, but never mind. He's not going to have a face or eyes as Fitch goes huge. He's going to find himself 2 frags out of the sight. Dispatches of both of those players, SNK and Fitch. They find themselves 2v1. It's all on 7. He's currently 1-5. He picked up his first frag this round. He has swapped out the Mag 7 in favor of the AK. And as the push comes underway, Tengri, they've got plenty of time remaining. They're just going to be sticking together the buddy system to try and trade things out. A nade comes in, doesn't find much damage. 7 going out for the peak, but then Fitch on the triple kill to secure Tengri their 6th round. A round that looked like it was iGame's going to be going the way of Tengri.
Yeah, just finding 1v1 duels. Very, very nice stuff coming out from the T side. I was actually very worried about the way that they actually played that, just with the sort of pushes that came in. The bomb was very far behind. The timing was a little bit off on their sort of push towards plat and the push towards drop down. But it works out in the end. Nice individual play. And speaking of that, Sora is actually going to go very aggressive, straight through a Molotov. Now, the chances of him being refragged are very, very high, but luckily for them, they got Juho with the Mag 7. He's actually going to get both over towards that trusty broken wall. And he should have already done enough for this round to be secured, but a couple of players with no armor. Not much utility to play with. 2 players still left. Pachanga, top of the board at the moment for his team, so not going to count him out as of yet.
Sonic is alone over towards drop. He's been able to get control of it just yet. Has to deal with that. Zore up close and personal. Oh, he actually misses the jump. That's going to allow it. CT side player to know where he is, but the smoke goes down and blooms just in time. It's Juho on the flank, though, and I don't think he's going to be ready for this. Why would he be? And that's going to be Juho on 3 now. Now it's all on Pachanga, the top fragger for Tengri, the resident AWPer right now. And he's going to be over towards mid, watching long. Slowly but surely pushing on down. 45 seconds left. Bomb's going to be down. Over towards He has got the bit of a journey of a lifetime. No, he throws himself a gun down. He's like, there you go, buddy. You might be needing this for the clutch, but he's showing he needs this orb. He's going to get himself one. So now he's on 2 frags, pushing up towards his A site. Currently 2 guys over towards long for the side of iGame. That's going to leave this bomb all alone.
Yeah,
and actually,
he's not
yeah, there's no time left, but it's a damn shame, right? If he'd rushed for it, of course, there's no way he can know that they don't have the bomb down, right? Then we could have seen him get that bomb and potentially go over the plant, but it is going to be 2 frags. Juho, the star player in this round. I mean, I would start investigating. Who was it? Was it Sagaton or Seven who threw him very, very graciously? What was it? A Famus? Oh, Pachanga finds himself a third. They do manage to deal with him, though. That's going to be the AWP down, and more importantly, he doesn't get that loss bonus. So a little bit of some economic damage. The most they could have done, but interestingly enough, normally when you see that sort of stuff go down and you take something out of their hands like an AWP and you disallow the loss bonus, the money looks terrible. But look at how good Tengri are doing in terms of their cash. Ramzik, who should have his economy completely ruined, was able to buy fully. Sorry, Pachang was able to buy fully and still has 4 grand in the bank.
Yeah, once again, they're going to speed things up, go straight in onto this B site. Very, very aggressive stuff at the moment coming up from the T side, but there's a lot of counter nades being thrown in. Nice spray down from Sagaton. While blind, actually gets 2 players. Pachanga needs to speed up his flank, and well, there you go. Double kill from him. Late drop push working perfectly, and well, Saw is miles away. I think because the bomb wasn't spotted until far too late, they had absolutely no idea that maybe the bomb could have gone the other way, and because of that, he waited. And well, it doesn't work out at all. This is going to be another round. And while we spoke about economy, the fact that maybe Tengri should be taking a hit in the previous round, look at the amount that's currently on the board. They're going to want to stop him getting away with that AWP as well. That's not going to make things any better at the moment for iGame going into this next round. They get the 1 and done. Now Tengri are going to take a 7-2 lead.
Yeah, imagine when to see Juho buy up. Everyone else most likely going to... Oh, instead they go for a force, and it's going to be the Catalyst AWP buy. Essentially, they're going to give Juho free reign, yeah, to try and wreak some havoc with the AWP. Only thing is, I wouldn't really say anyone else has been having too much of a standout performance on the side of iGame to carry them if Juho does go down. You know, even if you juggle the AWP around on your CT side, who really can you throw it to? Well, like Saw, he's not someone you normally see kind of on the AWP. Usually it's Zore. He's been kind of quiet. 7 definitely can't pick it up. He's been doing atrociously so far, and even that isn't someone who you usually see with the AWP in hand. So you know, I'd say you've kind of got it on one of the two most competent players in this scenario. If he goes down and you start juggling the AWP around, there's no one really else you can throw it to, I don't think, that could clutch this out. But of course, I'm going to wait with bated breath for the time being. Seven's over here towards drop with the trusty Mag 7. And Tengri, they're just taking things slowly once again. They've got all the time in the world. They're under no pressure. Juho's here over towards Plat. If he could find his opening frag on a Fitch or SNK as they go for the cross, this would be the start they need.
We're actually going to see Flash popped out. Goes for the timing shot. Isn't going to work out as of yet. Now, they know there's an AWP over to this site. Now, depending on their analysis of the economy, they could possibly take a gamble that there may not be much of a buy around this. But hearing that shot is probably going to, in fact, do the opposite. They'll think, okay, well, clearly they still had money to buy. So let's play this round a little bit more carefully than we were going to. Now, this could work into the hands of the Pistols, especially when you look at the time left on the clock. This is something they struggled with in the last map. They've got 30 seconds to make their play. AWP is going to get a kill. It's trading at the moment. Juho doing the damage necessary. And, well, X7, he's finally going to step up with that Mag 7, getting himself a couple of kills. And Juho, he's done it. He's been that catalyst player. Pachanga is absolutely nowhere near the action. Just has to save this weapon. He's got 10 seconds to play with. There's absolutely no point in going for anything in this round. And I'm actually quite surprised, because just moments ago I was about to mention the fact that X7 hadn't even had a kill with this Mag 7. Well, I think he had one prior. He gets another, but once again, Juho, AWP, steps up, exactly what they needed.
Yeah, and once again, it just comes down to time. Tengri take things so passively and ultimately give that round away on a silver platter, especially up against these Pistols, against the eco. The force buy, at least. You know, the second they know the economy isn't too good on iGame, they should use that. They should try and, you know, wait for the early aggression, but then you've got to go quick, and that's the only way you can really play up against these Pistols. If you leave yourself with only 30 seconds left, you are asking for the loss. Instead, they're going to be once again playing over towards B. They do have the lurk player in the form of Pachanga, as per usual. This time going to be taking the AK out towards mid. Zore, interestingly enough, has got the AWP over at long. They're going to be adopting the double AWP setup. Would have figured maybe Juho would have thrown the AWP over, but I like a double AWP setup on the CT side of Cobble anyway. So versatile with the AWP on either one of these sites, especially when you have two talented AWPers. And Zore, I feel like, is a little bit wasted unless you have the AWP in his hand. Oh, look at that damage.
Twice.
Sagaton is just clinging on for dear life as the nades come through. And well, now the push out in towards B. Sagaton's down by that broken wall. The position serving them well in the past. Juho is going to be eliminated straight off the bat, and already this is the opening they needed for Tengri. They're pushing in towards the site. Plenty of time left. It's all going to be on Sagaton, and oh, he's going to be eliminated. They completely predict that position. Fitch is going to be on at 3. SNK to back him up. It's all on Zore with the AWP trying to retake 1 versus 3. Looks like he wants to try and go for the economy isn't there. Fitch only has 5 bullets, but he only needs 1 as he finds 4 frags. He's gone from being the quietest Tengri player in the last game to the one that we look for to open up these sites into this one. Countless 3Ks and 4Ks out and towards that B site, and he has been a monster for iGame to try and contend with, and they just can't.
Yeah, definitely intrigued by that non-save of the AWP, especially when you consider the previous round where they managed to win basically off 1 AWP. I don't really understand, but hey, I guess he wanted that hero play. It doesn't work out for him, and now they're straight back in the gutter again with their economy. 1900 will come in the next round. I still don't think that's going to be enough to actually get an AWP unless it's Glass Cannon, and that will go on to X7, who, as said, hasn't really been doing too much so far. Pistols may try and do a little bit. Juho also buying the mag. Now, I suppose this could be a way for him to actually make the money up to get that AWP, but
oh no,
it's a little bit of a gamble, isn't it?
See that, Tom? I'm emotional. Sagaton all the time in the world over in mid. Ramsey does fall, though. That's going to be the AWP down as Saw eliminates that. Now, they rotate players around preemptively to dispatch of him. If he makes his way out mid to try and pick it up, Sonic's there, and oh, I would be hiding if I were you. There's a couple more Tengri players around the corner, but Saw takes the duel and is going to pay for that with his life. This A site now going to be opened up. You see they rotate 7 in very preemptively. Oh, and there's Fitch locking down that B site once more. Zore's going to fall. Juho's 12 HP and a Dream trying to push up close enough with the Mag 7, but he's going to get peeked before he's close enough. And oh, it doesn't matter anyway. He's able to find that one on a Fitch. He does deal with 1, but it's not going to be enough. This B-side take already underway. The bomb's there. Now, the bomb is alone. SNK fairly low on HP. 7's rotating on round through connector. the two players on site going to be looking a little bit worse for wear. Finally going to be joined by Sonic as he goes for the long rotate. If Seven could have found one frag, that might have been all they needed. 15 seconds left. Bomb's going to go down. He's watching for Sonic on the push. Goes for the shot. Flash comes out. Now they know where he is. They should just be able to double peek into this. Pachanga misses that first shot with the AWP. He's looking just to try and do some damage here as it's a fairly low investment round, but SNK there to deny it. Tengri, they pick up a 9th and are looking just so incredibly strong, Tom.
Yeah, no, it's sort of been a bit of a horrible road for iGame, it has to be said. Like, one of their rounds was based off a singular AWP, and I want to point out that 2 of the rounds, the time has actually been just left out as one of the players goes down afterwards. So I feel like a lot of this, even the rounds that they've won, have been more Tengri actually, well, having flaws in their gameplay, rather than actually just the CTs not being up to scratch. So it's actually quite scary. And these nades early on, doing so much damage. Zori is going to be able to refrag, but gets tagged very, very low in the meantime himself, down to just 17 HP. And, well, at the moment, I don't really blame this T side for constantly just trying to push in over towards this B side, because it has not been held well at all. At least in this round, they've managed to get themselves a man advantage. They don't have much utility to play with, so it's just going to come down to fragging power, and Sonic is going to get away with one, but as long as they keep this man advantage alive on the CT side, it's not too much of a problem. And for once, for the first time in a long time, Tengri's economy isn't ridiculous. It's still going to have enough for a buy, but it's not going to be anything that they can't break. The only big problem is they're running out of rounds in this half to actually break it.
They're going to be sticking over towards B. Interesting enough, not going to be going for that rotate. SNK wants to get full advantage of this drop-down area. They've still got 40 seconds left. Tengri, they need to think about going quickly. We do see quite often they let the clock run down. It's a 2-on-3. Ramzik with the AWP looking to try and peek out first. Bodgun's law in full effect here as he makes his way around the corner, trying an entry on in. Bombs there as well. Molotov going to go out. That is going to force Zori out from Chicken Coop into the open. They can't capitalize on it fast enough. It's going to give them enough time to get in behind Fountain. A very, very passive hold from iGame right now. Smoke's going to go down. They just have to find one of these players on the cross. Zori's able to get one. SNK finds the return, and that's going to give him just enough time to get that bomb down. But he's going to go for the fake. Peeks out wide, and that might have been all it takes as now Sagerton goes in for the flank. He's got no time left. Going to get one. Oh, what are you doing, SNK? He nearly gets it. But Sort is there just to clutch things out in time. It was looking like Tengri could have had that round, and I had a lot of faith, I'm not going to lie, in SNK landing that shot, but he just misses it, and thank God, iGame, they pick up a 4th.
Look at this buy.
Yeah, I mean, the economy's still terrible. Only one guy's surviving. So, you know, they actually go into this with a worse buy than they had in the last round.
The thing that is frustrating me, though, is, okay, X7, I get you like this mag, but you have played this at least about 8 rounds. I'm pretty sure you've had 2 kills with the Mag 7. I think you maybe had a kill in the pistol round. It's just not been working. I like the dynamic of it on this map, but if it doesn't work, don't keep doing it. Maybe he'll prove me wrong just as a screw you, Tom sort of moment, but it's still just one of those things I don't like. Juho, however, has had a little bit more success. There we go, fade away, Mag 7 shots. That's how it's done. Teach X7 how to do that.
Yeah, he wants to go in for another, and there we go. Juho with the Mag 7. He spots a 3rd. He's hungry for it. He's hungry for the 2400 he would be getting. Sonic does jump down. Oh, it was dropped down, but then it's going to be traded out nicely by Sagat. And Juho wants to continue his legacy. Goes out for the peak. Manages to work SNK to the corner. Trying to grab one of those AKs, but he can't quite get it. So for the time being, SNK is still very much alive. They find themselves 1v4, but the HP on a lot of these players is fairly low. Now SNK, 45 seconds left. He has to debate, does he go for this or does he go for the save? And it wouldn't surprise me if we do just see him save in this scenario. But a bomb plant is going to be worth its weight in gold, and he's well aware of that. So instead, he's going to be wrapping around over towards long. Only one player here on the A site, and he's looking the complete wrong way. Sagerton, does someone want to tell him there's also a long angle you've got to watch? Oh no, he's going to go down. He's going to be able to get the bomb plant here. 1v3. Bomber will be going down. That's going to finance enough money for the buy. And yeah, the HP on the side of iGame, it's going to be looking fairly bad. They go for the peak. SNK gets himself a 2nd. He's only got 2 players left to contend with. Now he's going to get 3. Oh, SNK every time so incredibly close. But then it's going to be dealt with by Zore, who says, guys, come on, we have to get the situation under control. And he finally gets that trade frag. SNK likes to tease us, though, doesn't he? So close with that clutch once again. But ultimately, iGame, they pick themselves up a 5th. They've got enough money to buy into this one. And thanks to that plant from SNK, the buy from Tengri can be just that little bit stronger. a little bit more utility, and actually allows him to pick up the AK on for himself as well. So very, very good job in getting that plant. But now it's going to be the last round of the half, and iGame, they have their strongest buy yet.
This is looking like somewhat of a reverse of what we saw on the previous map, where I was sort of saying, even though it was sort of a 10-5 half, I feel like iGame dominated way more than it really suggests. I'm feeling exactly the same again. Tengri, if this ends 9-6, I feel like they've been cheated out of a lot of rounds. Like, they could have won this 12-3, 11-4 as sort of minimum, and if it goes 9-6, I would have said that they actually threw this a little bit, especially the way they started, 6-1 up, and then some very, very close rounds along the way, with only like one player surviving in the last 2 rounds over on that CT side. It's sort of nuts to even think that, okay, they could go into this as a fairly balanced half all in all. 9-6 is not bad at all. Either way, we're going to see them gather up. We're going to go pushing onto this A site, something they haven't actually gone towards too often in this game because B has been so successful, and well, maybe they should have switched things up a little bit earlier. 3 kills, not quite going to get the 4th, as Zuri will be able to trade 1 back, but that was an almost too easy take for this T side.
Yeah, 2-4. Fitch is up close. The Tech 9 going to be able to wreak havoc at these closer angles. Gets one, goes in for the peak, and there we go. Just mops them up like that. It's so weird. It's almost like to him, these guys aren't professional players. They're just average.
They're
you know, yeah, exactly. He just goes in for the peak with the Tech 9, the dry peak, no flashes, no nothing. And still gets both of those frags. 7 as well, having the worst game I've seen him have in a long time, in all honesty.
He played
it just
at
seems
least
like
10
nothing.
rounds of the Mag 7. I don't...
Yeah, I mean, he had the Mag 7 again in that round. Tries going for a peek on a guy in the hole in the wall over at Hut. And he shoots him point blank, but only finds something like 7 damage. And I'm just thinking, like, how can you mess that up that badly? So
I want to point out that I love shotguns. I am always for shotguns in any opportunity.
The words
like, I
from
love
Lee
them.
Tombiz himself.
I love them. But in this situation, if it doesn't work that many times, you have to change something. Maybe put a different player in that position. Maybe, I don't know, just pick up a different gun. There's quite a lot of selection. You could even go for an R8. It would be just as effective at that point when you're not getting anything done. So I just don't understand the logic of constantly bringing it into the... For Juho, okay, like, he's getting kills over towards Broken Wall. It makes a lot of sense. It's sort of one of those, almost, I don't know if it's stubbornness or he just didn't have a different way to play that position, but that should never come into fruition at all. And yeah. I think the one thing that I want to like take away from Tengri, although this half did go pretty well, the way they took that A side at the end just shows that clearly they got iGame into a position where they were pretty much stacking B. So maybe a little bit earlier they should have just gone, hey, you know what, there always seems to be quite a lot of people here. How about we try the A side for once?
Well, I mean, the other thing is, I agree with you about the R8 statement, right? I mean, if I was 7 in this scenario, I would have gone for the R8, because then at least that way, if I am going to be just a living, breathing meme at the bottom of the scoreboard, I can say it's because I've been using the R8. But let's see anyway, down the pistol round and away as iGame push very aggressively towards B. Duo to find the first on the SNK. Look at this aggression. He finds himself a second. Sagerton there to get himself 1 as well. In the blink of an eye, it's all on Pachinko. Oh my god, 7 through the wall. What was that? Walls just don't exist to this man. Walls.jpg have been deleted, and now it's all on Ramzik 1v5. The Clutch King himself coming in, but slowly walking from miles away. There won't be enough time for the defuse anyway, sadly. He's oh, hello. There's 1. The head of Juho going to be rolling on the ground now as he takes it clean off. Goes out wide for the peek on a saw, but there's 2 players over here at Platt. You'd hope they can pick this up. Ramzik peeks wide. Oh my god, he's going to find himself a second. Now it's 7 to try and trade things out. Bot 7, then trying to push E on him, but they just can't muster up to do it. But there we go, he proves it's all wrong, and he gets the headshot. 6-10. As they do pick up that pistol round over on the T side, and they're going to be giving a lot of respect the way of iGame, as it does look like it's going to be a couple of rifles brought up, and then some UMPs as well.
Yeah, the trusty UMP, the overpowered somewhat UMP, the one that makes you all that money and seems to cost so very little. Now, in terms of this round, I'm not expecting a whole lot, but at the same time, I want to see if the prophecy is fulfilled. The pistol round winner, thus far, has not won the second round in any of the situations that we've seen today. So, if iGame can't break that, they're going to be setting up Tengri to go well, straight back into the lead again, or further into the lead. But so far, so good. They do lose one player, but it's traded out. The A site definitely going to have that range advantage. They do have the scout onto Ramzik, which could do some damage. Obviously, even hitting tags when you have a lot of pistol players surrounding you can be very, very valuable. However, they seem to be using these SMGs quite well. SNK will, however, bring it back. Now, we know how close this guy's got it so far. Hello. Brings it back to 1v1. But it's just... This guy is so unlucky. He gets into 1v1s
Yeah,
and loses
I know. I was
it
going
every
to
time.
say, every time he's in the clutch, it could be a 5-on-1, 4-on-1. He'll find everyone apart from that last guy and then go down. And he's the king of the almost clutch. You know the kind where you're playing and someone gets it and you go, oh, and then you just put NT in chat?
Yeah.
I imagine he gets that a lot. But yeah, it's going to be 7-10 secured. Tengri now just having to bite the bullet here. Go for the full eco. I mean, they've got more than enough rounds under their belts just to go for this. And they're going to be stacking B. Now, iGame haven't probed at all for information. Instead, they're just going to be going in dry. And well, from experience, I can tell you that's not a good idea. As they peek out wide, Ramzik's over there towards Chicken Coop. And, well, that nade should be able to find a lot of damage. Oh, it's going to tank down Juho fairly low. Seven's trying to answer back with his nade of his own, looking to try and pad those stats as he finds 2 with the Mac 10. Looking for a third, continues the aggression, gets himself 3. He knows that Ramzik's over here in 7. What are you doing? He's on 4. The ace gets stolen from him. What a way it would have been for him to have kind of padded his stats back up to the level of everyone else. Now he finds himself actually above Sagerton on the scoreboard. So there we go. 7. Welcome back.
Yeah. Obviously, the stack B, I'm not really a fan of it at all because that's basically how you play most rounds anyway. Yeah, you're going to send 3, if not 4 players towards that B site, so stacking it is sort of redundant. But either way, it's just a quick round. Tengri are going to get themselves back on the bye. They're still in the lead at the moment. They've got relative utility, but no kits in play and no head armor, but the Mac 10s are gone, so it's only going to be AKs anyway, so that shouldn't play any real effect. At the moment, they are sticking with only 3 over towards the site, and actually they're going to utilize this tree position very early in the game.
Yeah, Ramzik's up here with the AWP, looking like he's going to be playing like shooting fish in a barrel for him as they peek their way out of this site. Now the momentum's completely slowed down for iGame. They finally restart this site take, but Ramzik, he's going to be locking things down. Finds himself a second frag, finally going to be dealt with by Zora. He's able to pick up 2 of his own, puts it back over 2-on-2. SNK, meanwhile, tagged down to 4 HP, able to find 1 over towards Shaw onto Saw, who peeks out from drop down. That's going to give up a lot of their positioning here, leaving it all on Zora. He doesn't have information as to where Pachanga is as well. He's going to be sneaking on out of there, though. And this fast rotate over towards A might pay off for them. Normally, we kind of see players wait around for a bit and then go in for the rotate. He's been very decisive on this call, and I think this could potentially net him a free plant. SNK's rotated over towards the A site, but with only 4 HP, it's not going to be looking too good for him here. You have got the flash as well on Zore. He's got the utility, but SNK's going to be playing it safe. 30 seconds left. He doesn't have time to dilly-daddle on his way towards the site. He has to go quickly. He has to check all these angles as well. SNK just waiting to deny the plant. 20 seconds left. Zore, you got to be quick.
If he can find this first duel, then the round should be his, but will he check the corner? He will, and nice little pre-fire coming out in the end from SNK to finish off that round. So Tengri are going to get themselves back on the board. 2 players surviving, but we know that there's going to be a buy coming back on the other side of things. It will not be the best, but it should be enough for them to actually look to break straight back here. Now, if that's going to be the case, then they're going to be big problems for Tengri, and the score is likely to level up. If it goes the other way, however, looking at this T economy, it's not something that we're sort of raving over at the moment. The sort of second round was so close, they didn't get to build up a lot of cash. It went down to only 1 player surviving, so it's definitely going to be an important round in this match, and we'll see a quick pause. I don't think that could have been tactical.
Did you just see the length of that tactical pause?
It's like,
they call it in, that coach quickly goes, bye everyone! And then, they,
I've got a strategy. Shut up. Okay, let's move on.
He yells at them very, very quickly in Finnish. I don't know Finnish. And yeah, maybe. You know, we're going to see what that tactical pause is all about.
Play default round.
Whatever it was, I mean, I'm sure it was worth it. There's extra 5 seconds, not even that, 3 seconds they got. More than worth it. Their coach got to chime in with some words of advice. And well, now we can see They're going to buy down. They have a nice bit of utility on the board as well. Pretty much everything they're going to need to go into this with a sight take. They send 2 players up long, then they also have Saw to clear out mid. No one from Tengri going to be taking these duels up close. Instead, opting to play very, very passively over towards the A site. So you've also got a float player over towards Connector in the form of Sonic. He can rotate very, very quickly in between A and B. As a result of being there, they utilize that tree position once more, boosting a player up there. And well, for the timing, it looks like iGame want to try and exert some pressure early on over towards A.
I have to admit, this B site is quite risky. Only 2 players there. I understand why they're doing it because of the amount of presence that has been known, and by the looks of things, this is sort of edging towards that A split potential. Especially with the bomb now going back over towards the A side. Now, iGame are leaving this very, very late once again. There's only going to be 25 seconds left on the clock where they actually go. Sonic playing that Taz window position, just going to be waiting up close. They should check this, but they don't. And that is going to make things very, very difficult going into this one. Sonic, if he can get this kill, or even just slow him down, this is going to make things so much more difficult. However, they're getting all the entries on the A site, so it makes absolutely no difference whether the rotator is there. And X7 is just still going to be waiting behind as the bomb goes down. And really, any chance of them being able to hold on to this or retake it should be very difficult. But with him falling, a little bit of potential comes in. Sonic actually finds one as well going onto the site. Saw low. Both players actually dedicated to this site. It's down to Ramzik.
And, well, Ramzik going to be buried 6 feet under, along with the hopes and dreams of Tengri into that one. Well, the iGame picking it up, but it was looking very, very lethal there. Sonic coming on in with the UMP. Someone's doing like some casual like lumber work outside my house now. What is going on? I have a block of flats. Okay, there's a garden outside. I don't know what someone could be doing with a saw, but someone is having a good time. So apologies for that in advance.
A good time with a saw.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I tell you who isn't having a good time with a saw. iGame, as you know, hasn't really had too much of an impact over here on the T side. That was just a little bit of a nice interlink. Now there's seagulls. What's going on? This window has to be closed. But anyway, we can see an 11-9 scoreline secured. Tengri going to be just having to bite the bullet, grit their teeth, and bury it into this one. They're going to be going for the eco. You can see SNK's got that deagle. It's looking like iGame want to be playing over towards B. 4 players here. Only 2 guys from Tengri to try and lock down the site. They're not going to be in very great positions to do it either. You can see you have a player up here close to the wall in the form of Fitch. You might be able to find one, but really that should be it. This position should be cleared out and dealt with. And as he peeks out wide, Juho does find some early damage. Oh, a nice dink though. Forces him back. They rotate a second player over, and they're both playing this very, very close to the wall. They shouldn't be able to find many frags, but it's working out for them. Fitch gets one. Ramzik as well going to be able to get another. And they turn it into 3-on-3. Juho's tagged extremely low, and they shouldn't have been able to get this many frags out of it, playing those positions against these rifles. A single Molotov out of the arsenal that iGame had would have been enough to have cleared that angle. And now bomb's going to be going down. Finally, these Molotovs being put to good use. Force Sonic out of position. He goes to push through short, and Juho's there. He's tagged down low. Changa's over it long as well. Grabs himself an AK.
Smoke. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake to be made. Juho just going to be handed a kill there. But SNK, you know what this guy can do. It's going to be pushing back in, but this time he won't be able to take it down to 1. And it's still looking like it's going to be a double eco position here for Tengri. You could see by the fact that SNK bought. I don't think he would have done that if they actually planned to buy in this round. So likelihood is we're just going to see a couple more pistols, and they're going to see what they can do in the next round with a big buy on the board. Now, not the best round, it has to be said, from iGame. As you said, they didn't really utilize, well, their utility. And it's definitely a little bit more questionable than what we saw on Train. They were very, very good at anti-eco rounds. Weren't really losing anybody except for the first anti-eco round where they lost the second to the pistol that they won. But other than that, it's sort of been a position in this map, at least, where they're looking a lot more sketchy. Nowhere near as confident as what we saw previously. And in this round, at least, they are playing quite passive. Now, we're going to see a very deep smoke come out from the CT side. Now, what that normally suggests is there's going to be someone up close and personal, aggressive, but instead they're going to throw that down and actually rotate away towards this A side. I think it's quite a smart little play. Unfortunately, they've already lost 1 member over towards this A site, and now you're actually going to rotate 2 more over. However, the bomb definitely not dedicated just yet, and you can see the remaining players over towards this B site just waiting to see if there's any more aggression.
Once again, they're very spread out, and they're not in very good positions to try and trade this bomb. He's going to be looking like it wants to make his way back over towards B. Now, Fitch has gone aggressive. This time, holding the angle with the Deagle, does have the armor as well, and he could take a couple of heads clean off from this position. Will be forced on back. Now falling into the site a little bit more passively, just as iGame look like they're going to go for this push. It looks like they're going to be rotating over towards A. They hear the footsteps. They realize they've rotated out of position too early. That's going to make retaking this site a lot easier. They do lose one player. SK still alive. Sonic's still alive on the site, though. Gets forced on out, and in the blink of an eye, iGame, they pick up their 11th. That's going to be the equalizing round, and there we go. Yeah, that's how you play against these anti-ecos. At the same time, though, didn't really feel like they were ever in position to kind of get the trades. It did just kind of feel more like they were landing their shots. Which is always a huge factor. Now we can see, now we can see that Tengri, a lot of money to buy on down. Ramsey going to be on the AWP. He's been fairly quiet as well in the last stages of this. Getting the AWP in his hands definitely going to be beneficial.
Well, yeah, they've only managed one round so far.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think anybody could have been stepping up if that's the case. Fitch as well was very, very good on these entries, and well, he'll get the initial kill this round as the smokes begin to thrown down by the T side. They've already lost their point man, Sagerton, and maybe about to lose X7 with these nades falling in as well. Just about gets away with it. Very, very low, and in fact manages to get the entry kill as well. So nice work from him, staying alive on scraps of HP. And I love these smokes. Just the wall put up, isolates the CT side, normally allows you to get the bomb down fairly comfortably, as long as they actually cover him off, which they don't. SNK is able to drop him, I suppose, just after the bomb went down.
3-on-3, Ramsey with the AWP posted up, coming on in along with that. Pachanga. They're already taken from very similar angles. The crossfire should be set up between iGame here. The only kind of non-factor is you have got Zore over towards long. He's going to find one there as he rotates back around. Saul gets himself of his own, and 7 just baiting out Ramsey with that AWP. Smoke's going to be currently blocking off Saul from helping out, but the crossfire is there, and that's going to be iGame picking up their 12th. It looking like they're just a T-side team here on Cobblestone. As since they swapped onto it, it has been a complete and utter annihilation of Tengri. And now they're going to be force buying down. And Tom, do you agree with this? Do you agree with this force? It's very weird. They'll be buying down at 1,100. They won't really have.
I think they'll get max loss bonus.
The next.
That would just about give them but it won't give them an AWP. It won't give them full utility.
Yeah, they're going to have to sacrifice a lot going into the next buy. And I don't know if that's worth it, especially on Cobblestone.
I think the only reason that they're doing this is because they've come very, very close in a lot of the rounds that they have lost with these sort of pistol rounds. Like in a lot of the rounds, we see only a couple of players surviving. The last 2 were much, much better, but a lot of these rounds have been very close. So I understand the premise, and then they'll get a buy in the next round anyway, but it is very, very risky. Of course, if they get a couple of kills, then they may be able to secure something a little bit better and do some damage along the way, but it's a very, very risky game to play. But we saw that with them previously, with that sort of one AWP buy alongside a rifle that actually worked out for them, so maybe this will actually be what gets them back into the game. But interestingly, they're not actually that far behind. Clearly, I think it's just more that they have a little bit of doubt in their actual CT side setup and are going to try and make sure they have a little bit of a cushion. Hello.
Oh, speaking of a cushion, Tengri puts a couple of guys to sleep. Towards long, and well, this is going to be equalized on out as best they can, but iGame currently going to be at the man disadvantage thanks to that play from Pachanga. It is going to be the man advantage right now for the side of Tengri. Trying to rotate back around over towards B. There's 3 players here as they walk into the most stacked site out of all of them. Thanks to this aggression from Vitch, he can call the rotate over towards B. It's not looking good here. Ramzik might only have a deagle, but that's all he needs as he finds that first on a Juho. The trade looking to come through. 7 falls as well. It's all on Zore, and Ramzik with the deek to find himself a second. It's going to be 12-12, all tied up, and that force from Tengri ultimately going to be paying off thanks to those 2 quick frags from Pachanga over towards long, and also the deagle hold from Ramzik.
Well, that's pretty much risk and reward in a nutshell. That was a very, very high risk, but at the same time, what they've managed to achieve from it is boost their economy a little bit, I suppose, because obviously they were going to get max loss bonus anyway. They get themselves around, equalizing things, but also the amount of damage they actually did there. You have to remember, this economy is definitely not safe. Now, already, look at this aggression from X7. It's only going to come as a trade as the first kill's gone to Ramsik, and the CT side will take the advantage yet again. This AWP stepping up big, and both players missing the shot means Juho will actually be able to get himself a little bit of position into this round. Now, the bomb has been spotted, or at least it should have been. So they know that it's over towards Plat. The problem is Saw. Now, I reckon they would have heard him jump down. That's not the problem. It's whether they can actually isolate him before he can split onto this side. The interesting hold at the moment is that they've actually got 2 players not on the site, leaving a lot of pressure on Fitch.
Yeah, now some players do better when they're under pressure. Pachanga rotating on back round to cover the drop down. That's going to come in very handy. It means Fitch only has to watch one angle, and then they lose out on Saw. Now it's all on Juho. If anyone can clutch this out, it is going to be him. Makes his way over in towards the B7 platform. Spots out Fitch, tags him down low, but he's going to get dinked as well. And there's Pachanga with the wide peak to deal with the lone iGame player. 12-13 as Tengri, they retake that lead. They bound back. The economy looking to be incredibly strong. And iGame, no money left. Wouldn't surprise me if we see 7. And Zori go for a bit of an aggressive buy. Everyone else just buying down about $2,000. Interestingly enough, 7 does want the AWP, so is he going to be buying up armor? It will just be a couple of PT50s and a Tech 9. That singular flash, I imagine they're going to go straight in through drop or out through B. This is usually what we see with this sort of setup, but instead they slow things down. They're going to be forced back by the utility usage, and all the nades rating on him finds some good damage as well. Bomb now left over at B. 3 players migrating over here towards the A site. 7's made his way down in through drop, but it's going to be dealt with by Fitch. Ramzik as well finds Juho, and suddenly this is looking like a very clean round for Tengri.
Yeah, exactly what they need in this sort of position. Make sure they don't lose too many, if any, players. Build up that economy even further from the round that they managed to gain. And this is perfect for them. They've managed to turn this round at the exact time it was needed. Put the economy on tilt of iGame. Not only that, but one of the things that has to be prominently said, okay, so X7 has stepped up over on this T side. Sagaton is non-existent at the moment. He's supposed to be this entry fragger role for this team, pushing in, finding those picks. Instead, he's been pushing in and going down 9 times out of 10 at the moment. And without him, their T-side is looking a little bit flat. Now, they've had quite a lot of rounds strung together. Some big plays coming out across the board. Zori definitely starting to step up as well. But now they're up against it. 2 rounds lost, and they lose this map after looking like they turned it around completely, taking the lead just 3 rounds ago. Also giving Tengri a round out of absolutely nothing. One that we thought was a bit of a ludicrous force buy. It turns out to be the buy that has brought them back into the lead.
Play this one a little bit differently, though. They send 3 players over towards A. They do leave 2 over at that B site. The issue I'm seeing is we haven't really seen a lot of in-depth strategy coming in from iGame. And on a map like Cobble, that's fairly unusual. We have just kind of seen it's either all go B or all go A. We haven't, seen anything too spectacular. This round looks like it could be something a little bit more tactical, at least. There's 3 players currently over towards A, then they got 2 stacked up at that B site, both just watching for any early aggression. Would be nice to see them even just throw some smokes, cut the site in half, try to feign that rotate out from your opponents, but instead they fall straight on back, and it looks like it's just going to be another everyone go A. And let's see if this pays off. Only 30 seconds left. 7's on the lurk. He does throw down that solitary smoke, but already more than aware of what's going on. Tengri, they've rotated Sonic around. And that's just because iGame have been so predictable. These aren't even pug-like strats. These are matchmaking-like strats of just rush A. And now they've been making their way on in. Pachanga locking down the site, finds that first on Azora. You can see the rotate coming on through thick and fast. They only dispatch of one of these players. It's all going to be on 7. 1v4. He gets himself 1, gets himself 2. SNK on the site. Should be able to line up this frag. And yet, no time left. 12-15. Not only was there no time, there was just, they didn't have the information, the utility usage that just wasn't there. They couldn't lock the site down. And ultimately, that's going to be Tengri arriving at match point. iGame have no money left. And they're just going to be buying into what they can, into what could be their last round.
Yeah, the turnaround, Tengri getting themselves 4 rounds in a row after only having 1 for the rest of the half. Something seems to have clicked, but well, we are going to see the first kill going their way. Now, Ramzik's position is going to be so valuable in this position. He just has to stay there, just be the bane in their side, because they know that he's going to be coming from behind. They know exactly where he is. The rest of the team, they just have to work on this retake. And Sonic, he's actually going to drop the bomb in the open as well. SNK to add 1 more. And it is, they're still looking, wondering about this flank player. And here he comes, just waiting behind the smoke. There is another flank in play, but it's Saw. And I just don't see this happening now. He may be able to get the kill on Ramsik. That's an AWP at least. But other than that, there's so much for him to try and achieve. He's actually going to go running, and Ramsik will take him down. Tengri, they turn things around at the depths, winning 5 rounds in a row. And that has to hurt for the T side. They were doing so well in these sort of earlier rounds. A lot of them a little bit closer than probably should have been. But just one mistake. That's all it took. One mistake in a round where we saw the other team just force a little bit, and they completely throw that one away.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was, in all honesty, I think that was a fairly bad kind of game from iGame. They just weren't up to it. A very, very bad start. They nearly come back in their T side, but a whole bunch of poor decisions made ultimately leads to Tengri picking that one up, and the decider is going to be Overpass. That's map number 3. Before we go, as per usual, me and Tom trying to include a little bit of interaction with you guys in the chat wherever we can. Going to be giving it a quick look. Do you guys want to drop in some of your opinions and your predictions for what's coming up on Overpass? And we'll be sure to have a look at them. Also, going to read out some of the names just to, be nice.
Yeah, we're going to Dust 1,
PG-13.
We're going to Dust 1.
Yeah, Dust 1 is the decider. But shout out to Kano98, Vega,
I feel
OP.
like you're butchering all of these.
Yeah, well, Ash Candy.
I can do Lightning is on fire.
On
no,
fire.
I've got that one, don't worry.
Okay. Insomnia. There you go. Talented mod dude. Thank you. Does a Kevin? God, these are so difficult. You guys have the worst name. Pestilence. Hi, casters. Hey, dude. How you doing?
Darude Dave Storm. That's what I needed in my day. That's what I needed in my day.
Smexy Panda. My birthday's in 2 months. Happy birthday for 2 months away. But yeah, there we go.
Tom over Semler. Yeah, cool. Cool.
I think we can make that a thing. On fire, Bizzle.
I think it's just on Biz.
On Biz. I did it. Yeah, no, that's really good actually. Oh, I like that. No, that's good. You have to get signed with Rum on Fire now. Why you not give iGame your energy? Be kid. I don't have any energy. I'm using all my energy right now, giving it to Tom Biz.
Yeah, what time did you get up today?
I don't know, like 3 p.m. But in my defense, made a coffee, went to take my tablets to wake me up that I meant to have, ended up taking sleeping tablets, and then took caffeine tablets on top of that to try and counteract it. I don't know how I'm meant to be feeling right now. Probably going to die. But we're going to cut to a...
Sound healthy.
It's not safe. Do not ever replicate this. We're going to be taking a very, very quick break. But we'll be back after that. Hope you guys have enjoyed it thus far. Be sure to stick around as the decider is coming up next. If you guys have made bets,
casters
it's all
in chat.
decided here. It's casters, not caster, because they didn't add a command for that yet. We're going to be cutting to a very, very quick break, though, guys. Be sure to stick around. The deciding map, Overpass, is coming up next, not Dust 1.